O glorious Prince Saint Michael, Chief and Commander of the heavenly hosts, Guardian of souls, Vanquisher of rebel spirits, Servant in the house of the Divine King, and our Admiral Conductor, you who shine with excellence and superhuman virtue, deliver us from all evil, who turn to you with confidence, and enable us by your gracious protection to serve God more and more faithfully every day. Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Help us to bring justice to those souls that were lost on 9/11, and for all the people who have died because of the lie of 9/11, and to bring the true perpetrators to justice. Good evening. My name is Paul Isaac. Today is 17 November 2013, 1847 hours. And this is going to be another installment. Hopefully we can get a little better understanding of the research that I've been trying to put out regarding Enron 9/11. But just to show you how it seems that the city of New York and Giuliani seem to have been aware of what was coming. This is a 1998 Y2K brochure that was put out by the Giuliani administration. As you can see, there are names on this brochure which are of importance. Here we have Giuliani as the mayor, Joseph Leota, Jerome Hauer. Now Joseph Leota was a deputy mayor. He's running for mayor now. We had Jerome Hauer, who was listed as director of Mayor's Office of Emergency Management. Alan H. DeBren, Commissioner, Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications, and Brian Cohen, who was Director of the Year 2000 Readiness Project. And it says, this information contained in this brochure are Year 2000 Readiness Disclosure as defined by the Year 2000 Information and Readiness Disclosure Act of 1998, Public Law 105-271, 112, Statute 23861, enacted October 19th, 1998. Now the reason why I say Enron was involved in this is because we have these companies which are listed here in the back. We have, again, this was the Y2K, Year 2000 Readiness Disclosure. And on the brochure there's some issue with the design of the image on the brochure. And we have the New York City's Y2K information page. We have the Federal Emergency Management Agency's Y2K page, the Food and Drug Administration Biomedical Equipment Clearinghouse page, Business Administration site, Con Edison, and we have Brooklyn Union Gas and Long Island Power Authority. Now, on February 13th, 1998, the same year that this came out, Enron merged with Brooklyn Union Gas and LIPA, which was known as Keyspan. So this came out on October 19th in the same year, later on that year, after the merger. And they have the Bell Atlantic telephone site and the Metropolitan Transportation Authority site. On this picture, you'll see some shadows here that are quite inconsistent with the actual image of downtown Manhattan as it was remembered. So we show a shadow coming here from 250 Broadway, going on to the 9 o'clock section of the North Tower. We have an 11 o'clock shadow. Again, this is the 9 o'clock shadow. This is an 11 o'clock shadow coming from Deutsche Bank. We have images of the South Tower in the river with this boat colliding into the South Tower. So we have 9, 11, 2, 1. 9 September 11th, 2001. Just to give you a better understanding of what I'm talking about, this is Mr. Michael Delaney. He helped me preserve this information on his ProThink site. We may not agree on a lot of the information that's going out, but those funny dancing individuals on 9/11 sure got my attention. So again, this is related to corporate mass murder and its collusion with city officials. Again, these are the Enron MASPETH holder Keyspan tanks that were located in MASPETH, Brooklyn, right across the river from the World Trade Center. And you'll see the cut that was done by Controlled Demolition Incorporated, who happened to have a contract afterwards for the cleanup process of 9/11. This is a plane, the South Tower impact with Flight 175 impacting. This is 400 feet high, and from the 78th floor to the 110th floor is 400 feet high. And as you can see from this superimposed picture of the tanks and the tower, you'll see that the cutout seems to match precisely where the impact of the plane impacted. As you'll notice that the collapse pattern of the tower, this is the South Tower again, collapsing at an angle, which is similar to the angle here where the tanks collapsed in MASPETH, Brooklyn 2 months earlier on July 15, 2001, 2 months preceding the 9/11 attacks. And I'll get into how this plays a major part in the collapse. This is a image of the South Tower's collapse in slow motion. This is from the History Channel's 102 minutes on the extra footage. I'm going to rewind this, push this in fast motion a little bit. Give you an idea. If you'll notice this plume detonation cloud, this is not normal for a plane to do this after a crash almost an hour after the fact. But this is the cataclysmic detonation that everybody heard right before the South Tower collapse. If you'll notice, it looks like a nuclear detonation, a mini nuke. This is what caused the South Tower to collapse. As you can see from this diagram, from that explosion, you'll see how it could have been planned out. 400 feet, 250 feet, 208 feet. It didn't collapse into West Street, it collapsed into Austin Tobin Plaza. As you can see from the collapse zone, this is the Keyspan MASPETH collapse zone. See the square outline. This is the ground zero collapse zone, including World Trade Center 7. Remember, this is the guy who they found the videotape of afterwards in Afghanistan. This is the same guy. As you'll know, they're not the same people. Here's the news article for press release for Enron taking over Brooklyn Union Gas, February 13th, 1998. Here we're looking at the brochure again for Y2K, New York City brochure. You see the shadows. You see 9, 11, 2, 1. Now, here's the boat crashing into the South Tower in the image of the in the water. Now this shadow comes from Brooklyn, and I'll show you exactly where it's coming from. These are actual pictures, shadows of pictures of Manhattan, lower Manhattan. Here's the World Trade Center. And that shadow comes from Brooklyn Union Gas, Keyspan, Enron tanks. This is from before 9/11, before the demolition of the tanks. So we have the shadow coming onto the north face of the NAP Tower from 250 Broadway, coming directly from the tanks. As you can see from this picture, you'll see the tanks in the outline in the back. These were the tanks. Now, demolition charges were illegal in New York City prior to Giuliani. Here you have residential buildings. These are projects. These are the Cooper houses. And they used explosives to demolish these tanks rather than have a sky crane come in and take them down like they did the Elmhurst tanks. They used explosives to take down these tanks. And as you can see from the shadow alignment, here's Brooklyn Union, Keyspan, Enron, which matches the direction of where this light source is supposedly coming from 250 Broadway. So again, you have 9/11/2/1, September 11, 2001, and we have the boat crashing into the South Tower.